Yes, it's a beautiful morning, a beautiful Monday morning at that, and a new week. I want to say you're welcome to another beautiful week. You, me, myself, Joy, Abu, the whole crew, a beautiful morning to you out there. Nigeria, good morning. Lagos, good morning. And to the God Almighty who has made today another beautiful week for us to start with. I want to thank God that you're there and I'm here. I want to thank God that we are all alive to see the 26th of February 2024. It can only be by the mercies of the Almighty God, and I'm not taking it for granted. It's good to have a grateful heart, and I want to believe you also have one. Yes, of course, things might not work the way you wanted it, or it may not even show itself the way you wanted it to present itself, but all glory to God, because if you're still here, it means one thing. You're bound for good things, you're bound for greatness, you're bound for achievement, you're bound to have, you know, the perfect will of God surrounding you this week. So be there, staying strong and hopeful. My name is Adejoke Atunbi David. My friends call me Olori AJ, and I'm here with a beautiful lady from Akwa Ibom, from Rivers, from...
Hi! Okay.
I'm taking her to another level. I have Joy Abu here. Let's welcome her.
I love that welcome, even though you started by intimidating me. Good morning, welcome to Family of God. Yes, you know this year, some people, but let's keep it as she came into the studio with all the, but don't worry, we full ground, we not going anywhere. Good morning, welcome to Family and Values. My name is Joy Abu. Yes, so like some people will say, Omo Calabar, don't mind me, Jerry. Welcome, it's a beautiful one, it's a beautiful week, and it's a wonderful time to start the week as we round up the month of February. It's been a great time, it's been a wonderful time with you all, and thank you for all the feedback, the messages. Oh my God, we love you. Family and Values, love you, Galaxy, I appreciate you. We are saying a big thank you for watching, for staying tuned, for connecting. We really appreciate you. It's another week. Let's do it again. Welcome to Family and Values.
See, life is not about intimidation. And I don't believe in competition of life. I believe in being yourself and achieving what God has proclaimed concerning you.
Minister, so, carry on.
It's good to look good on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
And
looking good is
also
good business.
Looking as cool as you know, sometimes I don't like, people say your age determines the kind of person you are. I don't believe so. I believe in what you have inside. I transform what I have inside as my age, not the number itself. So kudos to my beautiful
we are transforming.
Colleague here.
We are transforming. We are transforming.
To the glory of God the Father, the Son, and the
today
Spirit.
I woke up and I checked it. I did check and balance. I said no. Let me come out like a
cool Calabar girl.
You know now, one cool Calabar girl that doesn't have, I don't have problem. I'm very innocent. And you know, people that know me now, I'm innocent.
Okay, let me say, I'm starting the week by celebrating my father in the Lord, Pastor Iyade.
Yes.
And so I've been in camp since Friday for Marathon Messiah Praise, which is taking off today. So a big shout out to Marathon Messiah's Praise crew, VPT and Sotera. God bless you. And I pray one day, 82 hours marathon praise. So I'm going to be joining them later today. So join us live, okay?
Yes.
Just like you are joining us live here. Join us live too. We are live.
It will be great watching you, Minister. And it's always, for me, I used to join because my daughter shared the same birthday with Daddy Jim.
Wow.
So she's always taking pride in it.
Yes, so.
And when that time comes, she will tell you, Mommy, you know we share the same birthday. I said,
yes,
you know, you're blessed, you're blessed. So her birthday is coming up and we are preparing towards that anyway.
Thank you to our head of programs and our acting station manager. Thank God for our president, Galaxy Television, Chief Steve Ojo. And to my crew, I want to say thank you. The master control room, the editors, everyone who has always been there to help us to put things through, and you are seeing us like this. As we take off today, we need to go for a mini feature because our guest is on standby. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's so Family and Values, and we want to welcome you once again. If you're just tuning in, you've not missed anything. Just make sure you tell your family, friends, singles, and the mature singles, like we call them, that they should join us on Twitter, on Facebook, on all our social media platforms at Galaxy Television or Galaxy TV, and you'll be benefiting a whole lot, because we're talking about what we just mentioned, identifying the red flags in a relationship. Because Monday mostly we dedicate to our singles. To you, what is red flag? How do you see red flag? What are those things that you need to be cognizant of, that you need to take notice of when you are in a relationship before it becomes a marriage? Okay. So Joy, to you, red flags. How easy is it to identify those red flags?
Unfortunately, it's not as easy as we say it. It's not as easy as you say, okay, I'm with this person, so I can pinpoint the red flags in this person. And reason being that we human beings, naturally, we know how to pretend. People have degrees in pretending. And so they can pretend and only allow you see the parts they want you to see. So in as much as is that part they want you to see, it becomes very difficult for you to identify. So it takes extra care for you to now sit back, and that is why programs, we are pushing it out. We are already telling people that this is what you look out for. So that's
okay. You know, one thing I always say, our guest, Pastor Ebenezer Diallo, how are you this morning? I know it's about 12 midnight at your end in Canada. Good morning, sir. Hello, Ebenezer, are you there? Okay, you know, one thing I always say is this. I want to believe certain grace are meant. It goes from one particular generation to another generation. Yeah, they're always there. They are there. Sometimes we see them and we just don't take it to heart, or we just see it as it will pass by the time we get married. So I always say it's a privilege for our youths who are yet to be married now to go through and to hear or to know that certain steps or certain process need to be taken. I say that because, people from early ages, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, they see it, but they never hold it to heart. Like I said, they did not put it to, let me see how I can wave it, or whether it's there or not. And because it is there and we fail to see it, we get into it and we now get into trouble.
Yes, and the reason being that sometimes you see this idea of I will change him is always one of the issues we have. When you're seeing the red flag, I would take, for instance, domestic violence. They said when you're in a relationship and a man raises his hand, just know that the mere fact that he has raised that hand, know that throughout that relationship, something will warrant him to land it on your face. So if you see it and you don't, and you feel like it was just the first day to change, so you know that you're already waving it aside. For you, you feel like it's something you can handle. You can handle. And so I would, from one step, it graduates. So it's sometimes we see these red flags, but we just ignore it. We feel like he's going to change. He's going to change. Because I remember then my father once made a statement. He said, if you're in a relationship and a man slap you, return the slap back. Yes. And he said, next time the man will not try it again. Somehow along the line for me, it worked one day. And I'm not advising anybody to do that, because sometimes you might meet the man that is match and will beat the hell out of you. Yes. But what am I trying to say is, what you don't want from day one, stop it immediately. You don't like it, don't play around it, don't pet around it. Your no should be your no. For those who are still in courtship, it's even easier. That's why they'll say a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. because relationship is a period. Anything you cannot amend, you cannot adjust in a relationship, don't ever think you will adjust to amend it in marriage. Because if you saw it and you accept it and then you now feel like, okay, let me not talk so that this person will marry me, you know, that's another issue. Most people don't want to talk about certain things so that they don't lose, oh no, so that he can marry me. Once he marries me first, we will now... that's the wrong thing to ever think.
What about those who believe that my age, my junior ones, they're all married, and so don't worry, I'll manage it. I will just subdue myself. I will try to, you know, anyway, I'm okay. I'm financially stable in case anything happens. Yeah, we have a lot.
We have a lot. When I was coming, I was having an interaction with somebody, and something like this came up. You know, sometimes, aside the fact that there's pressure for a lot of people to get married, especially the ladies, we tend to use that as a cover-up for people's irresponsive attitude. Yeah. Some men naturally, they are so irresponsible. Naturally is in them. You just look at this one and know that if you put your head, there is no way out. But the pressure of the marriage, you want to get married, your younger ones, your this, your father, you know, and you now feel like, okay, after, even if he doesn't take care of me, I have my own money.
I have my own money. I'm financially capable.
Sometimes your money can't even, it won't even save you, because it goes beyond the money. Your money will not be a problem to you and the man, because he will use your money to control you.
Definitely.
So even with your own money, you're under control. You're
like a slave.
So from day one, no. You're seeing the red flag, stop it. Over the weekend, a very young girl brought a relationship issue to me, and she was talking. The moment she started talking, I just told her, do you want the honest truth? She said yes. I said, take a walk. And she was like, I've sacrificed a lot. I said, the first question I asked her was, what have you sacrificed? Let me know. So that did people enter into any old covenants? Is there something you people have done that you feel? She said, no, my time, my this. I just told her, I said, no, you've not sacrificed anything.
Yes, that you are going to get yourself into the relationship.
You're just counting 2-3 years. You're not looking ahead of the years that you're going to spend together. I said, if you told me you have a child for him, I will even tell, even with your child, run.
Find a work.
But this one you're just telling me, I said, so please don't call. So the young generation feel like they've sacrificed their time, their energy.
And so going back, you know,
it's better you go back.
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. I've taken, everybody is aware. And my family, what would they say?
You know that thing.
They feel, this is demeaning, and I'm not going to take it. I just need to put my head into that corner and just continue to work it with this man, because I don't know who is going to take me again. And we've been together. Why did you start what you know?
You know, the issue when you hear people say, I've introduced him to my family, what will people say? I asked the very first question. People have not come together for drinks. It's just introduction. What about those that would do, and what I was telling somebody, what if you now do white wedding, do everything, and few months the whole thing scatters?
So all we are trying to look at now are those little details that will make it look like, am I in the right relationship? Can I continue with this? It's always a great pleasure to make sure that what we do is for the benefit of our well-being. And our well-being has always been what we always look forward to, that you are part of. Because when you're part of, you know, each of our episodes and our programs, you will not be left angry.
No, you wouldn't.
I think we need to go for a mini feature again, because someone just sent me a message that they couldn't get it. So please, can we go for a mini feature? I'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. Okay, welcome back. And as we wait for our Zoom guests to join us on this topic, identifying the red flags in relationship. Have you ever been in a relationship and you notice there's a red flag, and you notice the red flag and you decide to, you know, stay back? You can send us a message on the SMS on your screen. We want to hear from you. Share your experience with us. And also, don't forget, don't call. Please just send us the little details, what made you decide to quit the relationship. We want to learn from you. We wanted to share your wealth of experience in that area for us, because it with us it goes a long way, and it's also out to help others who are just coming into a relationship and having the similar problem. Okay, out of being some see it as shameful. Okay, my guy is the type that spends anyhow, or is the type that always seek me for financial support.
Okay.
And by the time I finally get married, what's going to happen? If you have borrowed and borrowed and go on loan and loan and loan and loan, while we're still courting, yes, I can help you. No, I'm not saying it's wrong for a lady to help a guy because maybe the guy is struggling. They are both struggling, but you know, it's a bit easier on one side than the other. It may even be a lady. I remember Aremotobi was telling us some time ago when he came, he said in a relationship that you should watch out for someone who is not ready to, you know, to find it as a commitment, you know, to share everything with you. So many see it as
sometimes. Now let's take it from this aspect where you see, when you're in a relationship and the guy is the one on the demanding side, it's either the guy has noticed that the lady is desperate.
Yeah, sign of desperation.
Yes, and so he leverages and takes advantage of that to demand. Now, but if the lady is doing it because she feels the guy is low and she wants to help, now there's to an extent you can do that. If you're in a relationship, he asks the first time, it's obvious, fine, he's in need. And then when you now notice that the asking now, you know, there's asking with shame. There's asking with shame. First time he asked and he's all apologetic. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to be the one asking. I'm sorry, I should be the one giving. And you're being loving and you're, oh, no, it's fine, it's okay. And then the second time he's coming with, I want. And then you now notice that the asking is no longer like, okay, because he's just asking because he feels like you will give him. My dear, watch out.
Watch out.
Because such a man, when it's time for marriage and when you are in marriage, the demand he's going to be placing on you is something that will even make you start going extra to provide.
To go all the way to provide. And you don't want to know how well
at
or
all,
how
he
good
doesn't
it is.
want
All you
to.
just want is my man, my children.
And
because by the time you get married, children will start coming in.
And funny enough, Olori, do you know that any man that sees you do certain things and does not question the source of your income is another red flag for you to look
yeah. It's a very, very sensitive area
you see,
of the red flag.
There are certain things, as I am, like, let me put it this way. If I'm in a relationship today, there are certain things I can get that the man can put a close an eye on. Maybe weigh my salary in between and say, okay, she can get it. But when it goes beyond that, let me give you a very typical example. Let me sit down here and then I park one powerful Mercedes Benz outside. If you're a man in my life, what's the first thing you ask me? How come? But do you know there are some men that would never ask you how come?
Yeah.
They just feel like
it's there.
It's there, you know, let's just.
In short, they will even take
They will be the one. So now imagine such, like.
See, let me share this. I know someone who, I know someone who is in a relationship and it's difficult for her to get out because they've come over 30 years. How do you call up such relationship? Anyway, our guest is ready and it's time for us to join Ebenezer Diaolu. Pastor, how are you this morning? Hello,
how are you?
Pastor Diaolu, are you there?
I'm there, can you hear me?
Canada just take all our time today. Canada took all our time today.
And it's really unlike
Yeah, it's unlike him. Yeah,
he's
it's
always
unlike him.
he's always
On time, you
to
know,
join
it's
our
always on
conversation.
time.
Yeah,
Good to
So good to
see you.
see you.
thank you
Good
so
morning,
much.
Pastor. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, and you?
Okay, how is the family? How is Canada?
We're all doing fine. We thank God we're doing fine.
Okay,
And how
now
are you
I
doing?
want to ask, what are the most common red flags that one should look out for as a single sister or brother, spinster, or a bachelor, you know, prospective one ready to get into a relationship or already in a relationship? What are those common red flags we should look out for?
Okay, thank you so much for bringing me up once again, and I'm so happy. And I want to thank all those who are watching us. I know that this program has been so educative, and the last time I came here, people were so happy. And then I must commend what you are doing, Olori, and your wonderful partner. Thank you so much for being a blessing to Nigerians and to people across the globe. Now, going to the question you asked about red flag, red flags are those common things that when you see, should make you to either reconsider your choice or probably maybe you have to pick race and run. You see, one of the common red flags that I tell people to watch out for is when there is a glaring character flaw. Character flaw. When someone is not, for example, someone tells you, I'm going to Abuja, only for you to meet them at Abeokuta. And when you challenge such a person that, oh, you told me you're going to Abuja, what are you doing in Abeokuta? And the person tells you, well, you don't need to bother, the same, it started from this, with the same alphabet. Abuja, Abeokuta, Ha is the same thing. So you should know that such a person is not straightforward. Such a person is not is not a plain person. And if you go into relationship or marriage with such a person, you have yourself to blame because you have the rest of your life to deal with insecurity, insincerity, and lack of openness in such a relationship. So the first thing I want to mention is when you notice that someone's actions are not consistent with their words, it tells you A and is doing Z. So you should know that how do you want to cope? Because truth is a major pillar on which relationships and marriage should be built on. So I want to suggest that the first thing I want to look out for is that consistency of life and action. If someone is not straightforward, if someone is not truthful, you're going to have problem. If it is in the morning and the person is telling you good evening, then you have yourself to blame. If you still go ahead to marry such a person. Then the second thing I want to mention is that when you have sharp religious differences, it might also be a red flag. Some people are so consumed and so passionate about their religion that once you are not saying what they are saying, is a problem. Once you are not doing what they are doing, it's a problem. So it's always good for you to know this. If there is religious, difference between you, it might also signal a red flag. Some might manage it. We have people who do intra religious marriage and they still feel fine with it. But if you know that it is not working for you, it's a red flag that you have to consider. If you feel it works for you, all well and good. But if you know there's a problem between that area between you and the person you want to marry, you might also need to check it before you go into such marriage. The third one I want to mention is when there is when the family of whosoever you want to marry seems not to accept your personality. Just last week on Facebook, a lady sent me a message and she said, "Sir, what do you think I should do in this situation?" She's engaged to a guy, and the sister of that guy sent a voice note to this lady. When I was listening to that voice note, I was shivering, as in practically I was like, I could feel the anger the pain, I mean, the hatred using out of that voice note. And this girl was saying to this lady, I have warned you, if you marry my brother, I will show you pepper. You must not marry me. If you come to this our family, I will kill you. I will not give you rest of mind. That marriage will be war for you. It will be battle for you. She was cursing, she was swearing, I was like, I told the lady, I said, why do you want to marry this guy? She said, I love him. I said, but this girl is telling you you must not marry the brother, that herself and the mom will frustrate you, they will make that marriage hell for you. And we've seen ladies like that who we hear things like that. They have evidences with them and they will still go ahead to marry such a man. If the family is not in support of your relationship, you might need to step back and count the cost and be sure that you are not entering into serious trouble.
I want to ask this question. My question now is, for someone who pretending, because when we started the show, we talked about people that are good in pretense. They can pretend until they finally get married. Now they are married, they feel like I've gotten this lady, I can now bring out my true self. And the lady is now seeing those red flags in marriage. How does she go about the conversation? Does she start it from? Does she reach out to the man to say, this is what I'm seeing? Such a lady or such a man, because it's both sides, what should they do when they discover red flags already in marriage due to pretense?
Okay. Majority of time, I know that a lot of people who could pretend so much, I know that. But we agree with me that 90% of times when people say, my partner changed in marriage, those changes they were there in courtship, in dating days. Sometimes we might not be observant enough. Sometimes because of the nature, the intoxicating nature of love. When people are in love, and if you are not careful, it consumes you. It makes you not to see what others are seeing. Because one thing about marriage is that it will only amplify what is inside of. Sometimes those things, people will say, oh, it was not like this before. It just changed. It just suddenly changed. If you trace it very well, why you were dating that guy, some of those traces were there. But probably because you were so much in love, you couldn't see very well, you were not patient enough, or probably you rushed the relationship, or probably you didn't go for counseling, you were not patient, you just like, oh, I want to marry him, I want to marry her. When that person gets married to you and he starts manifesting those he or she marks those characters, and when those things start manifesting, you feel like, oh, he deceived me, she deceived me. Now let's not assume that now those things, you didn't see those things, and now you are married to the person and you are now seeing him that he wasn't a liar before, now he's lying to you. He wasn't cheating before, now he's cheating on you. Then you need to sit him down and ask him, what is the problem? You were not cheating on me before, now we're married and I see the way you are going about, or the way as a lady or as a guy, you are now cheating on me and everything. You sit down with the person and say, this was not how we started this union. What went wrong? Where's the problem? Where's the problem? Why are you cheating on me? Oh, the guy can say, oh, since I got married to you, you've not been forthcoming sexually, and because of that, I started going out with this lady who is always available for me and everything. Then you, the wife, you now to sit down and ask yourself, okay, it's like I'm the one who is pushing this man to become who he was not when we're in courtship or when we're dating. So sometimes people bring out red flags in marriage, probably because of the way they are now being treated by their spouses. Because you can't be beating a child and you expect him not to cry. It takes extra self-control for you to beat a child and he will still not cry. So sometimes when people say, my husband has changed, my wife has changed, he wasn't doing this before, you check yourself. Did I cause him to start misbehaving, things he was not doing when we were in courtship, when we were dating. Why is he doing it now? Is there anything I'm doing that is leading him or leading her to do what he or she is now doing now? So sometimes it could be because for every action, there's always a corresponding reaction. Did you get what I said?
Yes, Pastor Ebenezer will be fast on you, so you have to be fast in returning to us because it came in a bit, behind our time. So we need to really rush you. Now, I want to ask two in one now. What are those red flags? That's one. The second one is, what is the biggest and most dangerous? Is there anything like biggest or most dangerous red flags that you see in a relationship? Me, I'm focusing on the single. She's focusing on the marriage. So now, what is the most dangerous? Is there anything like most dangerous red flags in relationship before they continue with that relationship? Because they are looking at you. You talked about a lady who, got an audio from someone like that. So in that kind of situation, it's becoming life-threatening. Is that the only dangerous sign you can see, or there are many more? Can you give us the types and also which one is most dangerous? Thank you.
Okay, well, for everyone, what is most dangerous red flag for me might not be for you. For some ladies, they will tell you poverty is a red flag. If a guy is too broke, I can't date him. Because if he's broken courtship, poverty might continue in marriage. For some people, their own red flag, the most dangerous red flag, is a man who is not sexually active. Some ladies will tell you, if a man is not sexually active, I can't date him. Some men will tell you, if a woman is not sexually active, I can't date her. But for some people, they tell you, it's not about sex. If he loves me and I love him, we go in. If he doesn't know much about sex, I'll teach him. And so we cannot say this is the most dangerous, because your deal breakers might not be my own deal breaker. What you can contain, like that lady I told you about the audio. For some lady, they will tell you, we die there. Whether the mother or the sister doesn't like me, we die there. I will marry him, nothing will happen. But for some people, because they so much love peace, they don't want problem. They say, oh, just go. Your sister said she doesn't want me. Your mom said she doesn't want me. I am no longer. So you cannot say this is the most dangerous red flag. It depends on individual. What you can take, I might not be able to take. What I can take, you might not be able to take. So let everyone choose whatever. But like I said, deceit, insecurity, lack of openness, lies, fundamental character flaws. These are big red flags, you understand, that people should watch out for. Lack of sexual compatibility. When somebody is in relationship with you and you know that you are not sensing any attraction, any feelings from them, there's nothing, stirring you, no feelings, no emotions, it's a red flag. But some people will tell you it's not a problem to them. So we cannot say this is the most. It depends on the individual.
Thank you.
Okay, Pastor, I love the last statement you just made, and when you talked about sexual compatibility. Now, I'll take it now from the religious side. Sometimes, because of the religion we find ourselves, most people kill their sexual urge. So they are with a partner, they don't want to activate the sexual so that it doesn't lead them into sin, in quotes. Now, you now put that aspect of religion forward, and both of you are on that track. And then you now get married and discover that both of you are two opposite people when it comes to sexual compatibility. How do you now fight such a battle? Because assuming, let's take it, people from the world would definitely know when they are not sexually compatible with each other. But we are talking of people now who have come together to say, you know what, let's keep ourselves according to the holy books until we get married. And then they now discover that this is a major issue. How do they start working on such red flags? Especially when one person has failed to realize that it's a problem. Because sometimes you discover that maybe the woman will feel like it's not a problem to me. That's how my system is wired. And the man is now complaining and said, no, I'm not going to take it. And then you now have, so how do you, for those kind of sensitive, I call them sensitive red flags, how do we deal with them when we are already in marriage?
The basic thing is that if you're on the religious side, you are not expected to have sex before marriage. If you are a religious person and you say, I believe the Bible, I believe the other books telling you, probably Quran or any other religious book, and you say, okay, in this our book, in this our holy book, it is commanded that we abstain from sex before marriage. Now, if that is your religious belief and you are holding on to it, that doesn't deny the fact that you will have feelings while you are in a relationship. I got married as a virgin. I married my queen as a virgin. We were both Christians. And we said we are not going to have sex before marriage. What does it mean? I didn't have to deal with my sexual feelings. I remember back then when I was in courtship, and it seems as if I should grab her, I should hit her, I should. When I mean hit, I'm not talking of, I feel like I should just, my emotions burn, my feelings burn for her. But one of the things we said then was, we are not going to meet in secluded places. And so I remember when we go to Mr. Biggs in those days, eatery, and then we sit down, I'll be feeling the urge. Sometimes I will put my leg under the table and be using my leg to be playing with her leg. And when she noticed that I am passing that feelings to her, she will say, let's round off. She was also feeling it. So it's not until I take you to bed before you will know whether I am sexually active, or I will know whether you are sexually active. Now, if you say, I must have sex with you before marriage, and I discover that you are not performing up to my expectation, and I drop you, pick another lady, and she's not performing to my expectation, and I drop her and I pick another. So what the fundamental thing is, this person you want to marry, is he showing sexual feelings? You can feel it. When someone is sexually connected to you, you can feel it. Now, you cannot discuss how frequent are we going to be having sex in marriage. What are your sexual beliefs? Do you believe in, because some people will tell you they believe in anal sex, and if you don't believe in anal sex, you say, no, when we get into marriage, I don't subscribe to anal sex. And such a person can tell you, okay, if you don't believe in it, I can't marry you. You can discuss it. So it's not until you have sex before you know somebody is sexually compatible with you. Once you have that sexual pull towards each other, that feelings is there. You could feel it that this guy is not impotent, this lady is not impotent. Every other thing, if you not get married and you discover that I love sex more than you, you love sex more than me, then we can now have a middle ground, and let's adjust. Let's adjust. If you're going to be having it 5 times in a week and want it 3 times in a week, can we have a middle ground? Oh, I don't know much about it. Can you teach me? Can I learn from you? The two of them can sit down together and work out on how they can be on the same sexual level. It might take time, but they will adjust. The lady who is a virgin, you don't expect that from the first day she has to do all the 20 style, the 70 style and everything. It will be a gradual process as you teach her, she blend, and before you know it, the two of you are now becoming, good in doing it and all of that. That is the major thing, especially for those who are treading the pathway of sexual purity as far as their religion is concerned.
Now, coming to sexual purity, I know you have a program on sexual purity that you run when you're in Nigeria. Are you still running it for students?
Yeah. We're still doing with our team members.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my final question as we round off. Is there any therapy? I'm still in a relationship and we want to get married. Is there any therapy we can go for, to continue the relationship, or it's better we just let sleeping dogs lie?
There are situations, I've handled some situations where sometimes what people call red flag, and because of that they want to cut, they want to go their separate ways. Some of those things are not really big deal. There are things that with counseling, with therapy, we can work it out. You understand? Sometimes what you call red flag would just be if this person could just have additional knowledge, it will work out well. It will work out well. You know, I've seen a lady that will say, I'm dropping this guy because I don't like the way he eats. I don't like the way anytime we go out together, he just carry corn in his mouth and he's eating on the road. It disgraces me. I don't like it. Things like that. Yeah. Things like that might not be reason why you want to break up. If such a guy is teachable and we tell him, bro, when you are eating on the road, you don't carry corn and you don't do that. There's a way to eat. You have eating etiquette that when you are eating, you decently, you don't need to carry the corn like a mouth pipe and you are just on the road. You know, sometimes some people say, I don't like the way she dresses. She's not my type. And because of that, you want to break the relationship. These things are adjustable red flags. That if you talk to the girl, she could adjust her dressing. But when it is anger, someone that will use things and break bottle and break things like that, you might need to run for your life. Run,
no. Be safe than to be sorry. Okay, Ronald, thank you so very much. We've been talking to the president of Family Care Mandate in Ministries International in person of Pastor Ebenezer Diaolu, my blood. Joy. Thank you
so very much. Thank you. Anytime we have it's always an eye opener. We get to learn a whole lot. Like he said, run if you identify any of those red flags. Violence is never, you can never say he will change. If he's cheating on you, and first one you've caught him, third one, he will change when he gets into marriage. My dear, just be prepared because you might have a third wife, second wife, or this thing. So, but at the end of the day, identify the red flags and try as much as possible. Don't be blinded by love. That's what I would say. Don't be blinded by love. While you're loving, make use of all your senses. Be very inquisitive. Ask questions when necessary. I insist. Ask questions when necessary. My name is Joy Abu. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on Family and Values.
You've heard it all. There is nothing much we can say for now because of our time. We wish we can stay longer. Our HOP is here. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has made today's program a great success. Pastor Ebenezer, thank you for joining us from Canada. And every of Family Value Cruise. Don't worry, it's another time for us to, connect. But right now, we'll be going and the other program will be coming up. So don't go out of Galaxy Live programs. Stay tuned. My name is Remain Olori Adejoke David. See you tomorrow.